Hey, you crown your LA. Next update, 5:48. I'm Jenny Dean.
From the Bread House Network's Traffic Center, we're still looking good on all of our interstates and major bridges, and we're up to speed on the Veterans Expressway and Selman Expressway. Just still have a bit of overnight construction on 34th Street, traveling southbound at 5th Avenue South, where 2 right lanes are blocked. This traffic report is brought to you by Wix. If only everything in business was as easy as creating your own free professional website with Wix.com. No tech skills are needed, and you can choose from hundreds of beautifully designed templates. It's easy. Get your business online today for free at Wix.com. That's Wix.com. With traffic every 10 minutes on the 10s, your next report at 5:50.
Good morning, Jack Harrison, Corey Dillon, manumitting you from Nations. It's AM Tampa Bay, and it's 5:41. And by the way, we've got the Orion spacecraft that's scheduled to lift off at 7:05 this morning at Cape Canaveral, and we'll bring you reminders from time to time so you can get out there and see it if you're in a position to do so. And we should have there'll be some cloudiness out there, but some pretty clear skies for the most part, and we should be able to see it pretty well from here. And by the way, we had not a full moon this morning, but it looks full, and it was gorgeous. It was huge. But the actual full moon doesn't occur technically until Saturday. There is a story that was developed and came out over the weekend in the Tampa Bay Times, one of their investigations of the New Beginnings, which is one of Tampa's largest homeless charities, saying that they've worked for years with residents in exchange for food and shelter in an array of industries to raise money for the program. And they've been, Tom Atchison, the CEO of New Beginnings, has been accused of breaking labor laws, basically using slave labor and taking their money, that these people are going unpaid. And Tom got in touch with us and wanted to defend himself, and we said, of course, and he joins us right now on AM Tampa Bay. And Tom, what's your response to these charges by, first of all, Kevin Beckner of the Hillsborough County Commission, and followed up pretty much by the Tampa Bay Times investigation?
Well, I guess in a sentence I would say stop the nonsense, really. The problem is Kevin Beckner. I've left several messages, emails over the last couple weeks saying, please meet with me or come to New Beginnings, because I challenge anybody who believes even one word of this story, just come on the property for a half hour and see what's going on. And I would, if I was a betting person, being a pastor, I guess I can't say I'm a betting person, but I would bet anybody who comes on our property, within a half hour, they would change their mind and say, what in the world was this story about? It surely wasn't about New Beginnings, because everything about it, the whole story, I'm shocked. I stopped my subscription to the Times. Okay?
Well,
it's just beyond belief. Number one, we don't put anyone homeless to work. We don't put anybody at emergency shelter to work. Nobody in our emergency shelter is working. And it's quite clear, but he's saying his headline, was homeless and, slave traders. And plus, the only ones that work the games are those that have been, with our program a while. You can't take someone who is right off the street with addictions and put them behind in a concession. My God, they eat the hot dogs, drink all the beer, and steal the money. I mean, it's just... it's just ridiculous.
Well, Tom, this story, though, erupted because employees and former residents have complained to law enforcement about, I guess, the practices there. So what did you like to say about that?
Okay, what happened is this. Those were, you could take any organization that does what we do, and if you were to interview 10 former clients that got kicked out because they were using, at least 5 of them would say we have everything from aliens from outer space to rats in the belfry to who knows what. It's the nature of the business we do. And the thing is his story is based upon former residents who got kicked out. It's based upon Kevin Beckner asking for this investigation and all, who has never seen our property, has never talked to the residents at our property, okay? And so it's just building a momentum. The thing is that anybody who's credible that knows our organization. You could call Joe Capitano, whose own son came through our program. I would think that would be pretty credible. Joe Capitano.
Oh, yeah. He's a very
you
credible
call Joe
person.
and ask him how angry he is at this article, okay? Talk to Sister Mary at St. Peter Catholic Church, where we give over 200 meals a day right now to their school. Because of their funding thing was messed up, and we're supplying the meals for them absolutely free. Talk to Andy Scaglione, who knows our program and has donated buildings to us. I mean, the people who know about us, the credible people, they look at this article and go, "Are you kidding me?" And even my own mother, she read the article and she looked at me angrily, not really angrily, but she looked at me. She says, "Tom," she says, where did all our money go for years when you were in college and we were paying your tuition and board and room? What were you, surfing at the beach? Because according to this article, you got a diploma from the mill. I mean, everything in the article was true.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing, saying that you didn't have the credentials that you have claimed to have had.
Everything in the story, Jack, everything in that story was absolutely, totally bogus. And the thing is I challenge anybody who believes anything in that story, come to New Beginnings, ask the residents, ask the people there. You know, it makes it sound like I'm a slave trader.
One other accusation, too, is that you take their Social Security checks that they're delivered to your office and you deposit them into the New Beginnings.
That's actually partly true. There is actually one person in our whole program, a kid that aged out of foster care, that his Social Security check for $700 and some comes to New Beginnings in New Beginnings' name, because the Social Security Bureau has determined he can't handle his money. He spends it all on other things, and so they have made us his payee. So you're right. We have one check that we open every month and cash. Okay,
and that's under the aegis of the Social Security Administration. They have okayed that with you, right?
Absolutely. But, of course, he didn't cite that. He just says, I open up Social Security checks. And he also said, I open up mail, which, see, partial truths coming out makes it sound bad. I do open up mail. I'm registered with the post office as having permission to open the mail because of the kind of business we do. The residents sign when they come in that I'll do that, but I don't open all the mail. I open probably 5% of the letters. I look through it. And if I see, let's say we see a letter from a girlfriend that somebody just came in the program, was hooked on crack, and they get a letter from a girlfriend, I'm going to open it because good chances it's going to say something like, "Hey, baby, I know you're in the program, but come meet me tomorrow night at 7 o'clock down the street, and I'll take care of you." Well, right there, if that letter went where we didn't know it was coming to them, and they got that letter, the temptation would probably be too great. They'd be out and running and back addicted. So instead, we can take the letter and sit down with them, counsel them, pray with them, and get them to understand the consequences of what might happen for that. So, yeah, I do open letters, but the article makes it sound like I'm just opening letters, cashing checks. It's not true.
Well, now, Tom, the big question is, would you welcome a federal investigation? Because that's what some people are calling for.
Yeah, they're calling for it because Kevin Beckner and Will Hobner are manufacturing. Will Hobner's manufacturing the evidence, and Kevin Beckner is listening to it. All right. I would welcome it in one sense. Here's the problem. Sure, I'll welcome it. But you know what all the headlines all over are? Federal investigation asked for. So it makes it look like we're guilty. It makes it look like
I know. Yeah, I know, because of the investigation itself. But I think in this case, you might be better off having the investigation.
I actually left a message at Kathy Castor's office asking her, please look into this so we can get this dispelled. And the sooner that, I wish that we would have it, because when she comes in and checks and she sees our paperwork and she sees that the guys only work a maximum of 5 to 10 hours. Here's the thing. We have 200 residents. We work 15 to 20. I mean, it's a small portion of what we do. 15 to 20 guys on a really busy Bucks game, maybe 25, 30, and they work about a 5 or 6 hour shift.
Tom, we're going to have to run. We unfortunately have time restraints, but we certainly hope that you'll welcome that investigation and get these things cleared up, and we appreciate your joining us on AM Tampa Bay.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom Atchison, who is the CEO of New Beginnings Charity, which is under fire, as he well knows here. It's 5:49, almost 5:50, real late, but we're going to check into the newsroom now, and Chris Curley.
Well, gay marriage could be legal in Florida in about a month. A federal judge already ruled against the state's ban on same-sex marriage, and the ruling takes effect in January. The state attorney general asked the federal appeals court in Atlanta to put